Okay, so we were talking about subjects earlier, okay, and I just want to re-clarify a lot of things. Okay, so bacteria, yes,
Yeah.
or bacteriums or life forms. Life forms are all life forms on the planet. Yes, that's like fungus, nature, animals, humans, even planets and stars are technically life forms. Yes, so. When you go back into the past, yes, and we all go back to the Edwardian era. This is when water nautiluses and shit were all in the planet at this particular time, yes? There was a gamma ray burst from a supernovae and it hit the planet. Okay? Stars have different levels in when they switch in their nuclear furnaces, yes? And they give out different types of radiation throughout their history, yes? So when stars evolve, the radiation ratio changes. With each one of these changes, there's significant amounts of mutations happen on all life forms on the planet. Most people think that when things go to space, bacteria and different things like that, that it is immediately sterilized by, let's say, the radiation, yes? They believe that you can, gamma rays, although very close. I'm just going to let these out because if not, they're going to chirp. Get away from my cage, figure. Okay, there you go. It's open. Have some fun. So that everyone believes that, and I guess this comes from dentistry. We're quite tricked by it, really, that they run the equipment through gamma ray in order to remove bacteria. Depends how close you are, depends how far away you are. I don't believe that is 100% true. And I don't think all bacteria, because there are these things called extremophiles, yes? Again, quite advanced life forms these are. So we start our journey off as bacteria dividing. 1 divides 2, 2 goes 4, 6, 8, and actually it's more than that actually because 4 make 8, and so on and so on. So if you understand it, when you were born, how much bacteria do you think has had a generation? You could say quite a lot, yes?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's information that we see, which is writing, learning English, learning geography, history. This is one layer of learning, yes? Mm-hmm. There's also another layer of learning, and the opposite layer of learning is the unseen. How much blood pressure do you need? How much moisture do you need? Do you need to sweat in order to cool down? Do you need liquid in your eyes? Do you need to understand vibration? And then in this knowledge, there's also what do you not need to see? What do you not need to hear? What do you not need to know? Doesn't mean that it can't be worked out. As I journey on, I will fill this out. Okay, so based on inner ear, inner eye, yes, versus your hearing and what you see versus wisdom equals knowing, yes? So outcome, this, that, and the other, and you transition. So when you think about it, how much bacteria do you think would rise up and diminish if it was one type of bacteria? So let's say this bacteria is group E, and let's say that it has the good enough environment to begin to. How many generations could that have in 1 minute versus your entire 80 years? So if you lived 80 years, and this bacteria progressed, uninhibited, unmolested, and it could just get on and get on and get on and get on. In 80 years, how much could that bacteria have mutated and learned information?
1,000 generations.
Well, I think it's like
Millions.
100 trillion billion million, and then times it by the speed of light, and perhaps you'll get somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So when we look at that, we think, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But like for like, if I took this bacteria and let's say it has an essence, and I move it out, and I capture your awareness essence and put you into that, you would feel like that whole existence, however long it was, would feel like 80 years. Give or take, some more, some less. Some of this is going to live longer, some of it is going to demise quicker. It's going to be like for like. Now, let's think about it with the mosquito. Nope. Daddy long legs, mummy long legs. How long does it last for? 24 hours? 48 hours a week. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some are quick, some are short, but the life expectancy very small. I think they have the most venomous venom inside them, but haven't grown a sting. Let's not talk that one up, because humans are in big trouble if they develop a stinger. I think it's daddy long legs. Very toxic. And they haven't developed this yet, but over evolution. So you would think, then, how many daddy long legs and mummy long legs, so daddy long legs, mummy long legs, could you have rise up in 80 years? Again, big number, right?
Yeah.
Again, if I took your essence and made you aware of your essence and took the essence of the daddy long legs, removed that out of the way and brought your essence into a daddy long legs or mummy long legs, depending on how it is, you would believe, this is time dilation, time warp, whatever you want to call it, your perceived time would seem quite the same as what you would experience in 80 years. Let's say this was the longest living one that was a week, let's say. It would feel like 80 years. Perhaps that would feel more like 120 maybe, I don't know. Yeah, along these lines. So we understand that then if we apply this thing called evolution into it, which one's going to evolve quicker? Which one's going to show mutations? Which one is going to show you how this invisible layer that you can't see, but you know it's there. You know it. The inner eye tells you, your inner ear tells you, your wisdom tells you. How much evolutional changes are you going to see? Now, interesting thing comes when stars burst nearby, especially, we could say supernovae or the blue stars, when they pop and send a gamma ray burst. And it's not too close and it's not too far away. There's a Goldilocks zone to everything. Planet, not too close to the star, not too far away. That means nothing only in a ratio of here versus here. Anything outside of that and you're going to know about it. You just haven't been alive long enough or aware of your living long enough to realize that there is a Goldilocks zone, but it's very small. It's not forever. It's for a limited amount of time. Gamma ray burst, yes. If it's further enough away, there's a Goldilocks zone to this. Too close, highly toxic. Too far away, not enough. In this Goldilocks zone, and it's like 1 in a trillion, but it does happen, and it happens more regular than even other stars that explode. You'll notice this when the stars begin to rock and roll in this vicinity. Betelgeuse, when this pops, humanity are going to have the biggest wake-up call of their life. One, you're going to have a lot of debris. Most certainly, those debris, depending on how fast they are, they're already on their way. You just don't realize it yet. Depending on how far away this light has got to travel, you could say 80 light years. Yeah, but what's an object hurtling towards you? At what speed is that?
Yeah.
Well, speed of light is the fastest thing. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope that nothing moves in that explosion as well. Because solar sail, right?
Yeah.
Can it get up to the speed of light? Or close to. A solar sail can, yes. You've got to imagine that this is collecting something and pushing something, yes? That's a very interesting thing. So what about an explosion from this like push? Because it's all in one. You got to understand that when we're looking at starlight, interesting. Star exploding, much different kettle of fish. There's an awful lot of push against these objects that crystallize. Let's hope they're not traveling at the speed of light. Because if they are, there are some pretty big hunks on their way. Never mind that. If you take a look at Betelgeuse for an infrared camera, you'll notice that it's shedding. You'll notice this shedding. We're being hit by stuff already now. You can see this in an infrared camera. There are different cameras that you can look through to see this. If you remember, I was gazing up at those and zooming into them, but it's shedding. It is definitely shedding a lot of material off of that one. There are a few others that are doing it. Did you know this is affecting us right now? Not humans just yet, but it's getting there. It will begin to increase. Now, if we take frogs, for example, they're already beginning to mutate right before your very eyes. Extra legs. Now, what is this going to look like in a bit? We'll find out. So from the Edwardian time, gamma ray burst was in a Goldilocks zone. Just enough to hit the Earth in such a way that it mutated. Think about it. How long are you around for? Well, if there's already life in the Edwardian time, then you know that there was already extremophiles and such things and bacteria and different things like that were already well rocking and rolling on this planet. And again, it seems like it's such a brief amount of time, scientists will say. And I agree. However, to bacteria, that's not very brief. That's a long time. That's a very long time. Nature is the oldest life form on the planet. Mushrooms, nature, mushrooms, either or, is the oldest thing. How come I know this? Is because whatever that mutated from, you can imagine it, it wasn't here. This definitely was not here. It can clone. It can also, it's Hermy. It's male, female. Now, with every experiment that I've ever done, I get a Hermy plant, and I want to know what it can do. And then it can sex itself, meaning it can breed with itself, which is very fascinating. And what's more, it produces seeds. Now, these seeds that go on are mainly Hermy, but there are variations of male and female within it. And the Hermes will go on to create more of this hermaphrodite versus male and female. And eventually, you build up with, so you get a lot of Hermes. So let's say, if we say Hermes is like, we'll do this in percentages because I don't have to draw it. Let's say if it's like 65%, we could say 80% actually.
Okay.
80% Hermes, and then you could say 10% male, 10% female. Are we hitting 100? We are.
Yes, we are.
And let's say we've got 10% of each here. You know that with this progression, the hermaphrodite plant guarantees that life is going to go on. All life, what does it want to do? All of it. Every single life form. Every single thing. Bacteria and everything. The purpose of life. What is it trying to do? It's trying to live forever. That's what it's trying to do. One way or another, this is what it is. This is where inevitably life begins to move forwards this way. So you understand that eternity is in one way your DNA, if you want to call it that, the stuff that you can't see, but it knows more about this world than you do. What came first? Human intelligence or the intelligence that made humans possible? Which one came first? Which one came first?
Don't know.
Well, how do you mean you don't know? Human intelligence or the intelligence that made humans exist?
So the intelligence.
The intelligence.
Okay,
so wherever that mutated from, which one came first? The intelligence, yes? So there is a much more bigger grand play going on, which is intelligence. So you can't clone, plants can. So plants can clone. Humans can't do it. And you've still got hermaphrodite in the population, although we don't call these hermaphrodites anymore. I can't remember the proper terminology for it, but even still, two hermaphrodites were to be left untouched by modern science or by pick a sex. Oh, we're going to say this, oh, we're going to say, leave them. If you were to leave them and they were to breed with one another, this would be a question, right? Everyone loves experiments. Human experiments are everywhere, right? Oh, if you're a poor with this, that, and the other. Okay, everyone loves human experiments. What happens if you have two hermaphrodites that you leave? Leave them alone. Don't alter the sex in any way. Which then goes on to gender reassignment. This is where we get this terminology from. If you can do that, can you do this? Can you do that? Anyway, so if you leave hermaphrodites, what would they do? Well, there's a bit of information missing here in science, isn't there? Oh, they wouldn't do anything. I don't want to know what you're telling me. I want to know what happens when two hermaphrodites breed. Or is it possible that they could breed with themselves? Well, it's impossible. Don't tell me what's impossible. Without an experiment, you won't know. And when did you experiment with this? When has science ever conducted this experiment? Never. So hypothesis versus theory means you don't know. You've never tried. Or you have tried in a laboratory somewhere and have shut this down, hence why you would change the sex and then tell everyone it's impossible. Why? Because religions would fall apart. This is the only reason why that would happen. I'm still rolling? So if you had hermaphrodites that could self-sex, breed and cause a child, you'd understand that they would bring the population out. Is it a chance that you'd have another hermaphrodite? No, it's not necessarily true. No, it's not true. It's a possibility that you could have some male, because a male could still breed with a hermaphrodite, and a female could also breed with a hermaphrodite. It's not guaranteed that you're going to have more hermaphrodites. Perhaps you'll have more, but even still, they are binary by nature. The first humans on the planet that mutated from whatever form you want to come from, a gamma ray burst here, a little star explosion there, a little bit of this mixing over here, a little bit of that. Hermaphrodites were the first humans on this planet to be. So what did the intelligence make first? Hermaphrodites. No ifs, no buts, and no maybes. Absolutely. And it still holds on to this. Evolution can't go backwards or forwards. No, evolution is much more cleverer than that. It still keeps them coming into the population. If not, why are you having hermaphrodites? You see, there's always that percentage left in the background. When there is more of male and female, when the numbers begin to boom up, hermaphrodites start to fade out. But there's like a few seeds that are every now and then pop up with hermaphrodite. Interesting, isn't it? And it's more predominant. This number becomes much bigger. This number becomes much bigger. Variations between the two. This is in order to ensure that life continues. This is what it's all about. And you've evolved from hermaphrodite to male and female. Again, I don't know if religions would like this terribly much. Most gods are hermaphrodite. If you want to say that God's picked up, then the first beings anywhere in this whole universe would be hermi. So the first ones that make it are hermaphrodites. Second ones, male and female. But that disturbs hierarchy. That's what that does. That disturbs it. Now, I don't mind religions. They're going to get things wrong. No religion is going to be perfect, 100%. So I think we have to be realistic. And teaching people that it's the be-all and end-all of everything, I think that a great religion would carry on evolving, would carry on updating, would carry on moving forwards. Because, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It means, we've just got this part of, there's another bit that we can write. And won't it make a very interesting addition to already many of your additions? It really would, wouldn't it? It'd be a very interesting read. The time before male and female. Female. Interesting. Anyway, so nature already does this, right? And it keeps Hermes in the mix. Okay, this is just what it does. Stars don't use all hydrogen. Okay, they keep a percentage within the star. Interesting. Why would you do that? Just in case you need to go back to it. There's a last ditch attempt. Everything is trying to survive and live eternally. This is what it goes on to. So the next broad line out of that is male and female, male and female. So how far has plant evolved in order to be able to do this? But yet now it can clone. Also, it can seed. Seeds last a very long time. And I've had many from young and carried these around with me and have planted them after what should have been expired. They haven't expired. It's very interesting, really, isn't it? I've freeze them, I've charred them, and then I've planted them and they still grow. So within a region of this and that. Again, but it has so many seeds, so it only takes a percentage. So that's a very interesting thing. But yet they clone. Cloning is interesting. Humans can't clone, they've not got there yet. So therefore, you're one step down from nature. Nature is far older. Cloning. This cloning ability is interesting. Mushroom, again, same way, but spores that reach space. Anyway, bacteria, which you think solar radiation is going to kill it all off and everything else, and by and large, perhaps it does, but Goldilocks zone, we forget the Goldilocks zone. Now, was that technician that worked for NASA who sneezed, had a cold, and they didn't know to start with, and I think it was in a camera, and then there was some sort of weird growth thing happening, but it smeared the camera. They asked them on a mission to bring this back. They brought it back and opened it up and were like, oh my fucking days. What the hell happened here? It changes your understanding, yes? Then when they tested it, a little bit of human biology mixed in with a little bit of bacteria, and then they configured, or went backwards. Someone with a cold sneezed into the styrofoam, and what was thought to be inhospitable environment, they survived and they thrived. So it's probably a lot more likely that bacteria is going to be the most abundant thing that you are going to find. All weird and wonderful sort of things. And they say that most bacteria is trapped in the ice. Are you sure it got there from Earth, or it hasn't been sprinkling down? Been trapped into some of these particles, bringing it down? Have you ever wondered that? Is it possible? Well, it's hundreds of thousands of billions of millions of trillions of years old. Well, no kidding. How old do you think space is? And what's getting through from there? What's already contained within this spectrum? That's a lot of emptiness, apparently. And what's in it? And this stuff is so small You need some of the most intelligent equipment to even be able to see it. And what's more, try looking for this small shite out in the vasts of darkness. Even trapped in our own heliopause. There's tons of it. And again, that doesn't tell you how old the solar system is, because maybe some stuff can't penetrate in. But gives you a rough idea, doesn't it? And if we assume that the Oort cloud is what is being exploded everywhere, it isn't. It's the star. The star saves this for later. So it bashes it down into bite-sized shreddies. The other pieces out there, and this, if bigger stuff comes in, hopefully that stuff knocks it enough to knock it off course, and then the star can make some rounds with this, aim it at the planets, different things like that. What's the planet that's on its side? Uranus. Uranus is a captured planet, rogue planet, I would say, not made here. That has been captured. Its orbit is very strange, and what's more, it's on its back. And if that's a collision, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think that's a rogue. I think that's a rogue planet. And if you can understand how big that is, it's not just the small stuff, it's big stuff is rogue. When it comes in, there's not a lot you can really do about it. And how can you see a planet? That's the problem. You can see a star, a rogue star. What about a rogue planet? It's nigh on impossible. Unless it goes in front of something, but you need a life form to be looking up at the time to see it. And again, the ancients talk about a lot of stuff. Anyway, so nature clones. So let me give you an idea of how this intelligence works, right? So you take Nikola Tesla. Everybody knows Nikola Tesla. What about Edison? Everybody knows Edison. What about Einstein? Let's take Einstein. Okay, let's take all of these. So let's go Edison, Albert, and Tesla. Eat. Okay? So, or T. T-E-A. There we are. Either or. So, everybody knows who these individuals are, yeah? So, let's say if they live for 100 years apiece, yeah? Let's say that they've got 60 years worth of prime. You know, to be able to be functioning and do what they need to do with sound of mind, minus illnesses and everything else, 60 years. Yeah? How much can they think up in 60 years? Unlimited resources, okay? The universe works in abundance. Humans work in limited, okay? For various factors. One, perhaps competition. Perhaps people play and knock people down and lift people up and this person. Let's say that humanity worked like the universe and just unleashed abundance to a particular person, these individuals, and gave them abundance and everything that they needed to get on, supported them and everything. They didn't need to worry about nothing. All they needed to do was just focus on bringing this mind stuff out, No need to go to work or nothing else like that. Your job, think up as much shite as you possibly can. Now, if they could do that for 60 years, that's still 60 years worth of information. We're looking at this as the intelligence that's running all of the show. Here, everywhere, animals, life forms, planets, stars, universe, and beyond. There's an intelligence that is far greater. Even if we were to take this in pieces, is massive. So let's say the 60 years is then end, which would be extinction. That's 60 years worth of information. How much could you do in 60 years? Only this much. What if Tesla, Edison, and Albert Einstein were to live for 1,000 years? How much more could they do? And let's say for those 1,000 years, they could only live for 900 in that comfortable sort of ratio, minus 100 years, let's say, for colds and different things like that, illness and whatever else. With unlimited resources, we're thinking here. What happens if they live for 4,000 years? 8,000? 10,000? Would you think that Albert Einstein's theories would be any different if he were to live for 8,000 years? The answer is yes. You shake your head like, oh my, I don't know. Well, let me tell you another thing then. Let me help you understand it this way. Is it true that in only the amount of time that he knows about, where he got his information from, based on a lot of other people, yes, past, and put this together and expanded, the ratio ended here. No one knew anything beyond this ratio, and then time goes on, some things are proven, and if he was still alive, he would then know that some of his parts are right, and some of it could be incorrect. All of them. Some things worked, some things didn't, some things still haven't found a purpose. Now with new information, could he then feed his intelligence? And then he could condense that information
Yeah.
and forward up, yes?
Yeah.
But would his last theory be incorrect, or would it be a stepping stone to the rightness? And then again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and they keep on stepping, lily padding. This is what this intelligence is doing behind the scenes. It is fucking beautiful, is what it is, yeah? You call that whatever you want, label it, whatever you want. So, again, what happens if humans are around long enough? Would they start to evolve to make clones without needing technology? The answer is yes. See, humans can do it outside. That's the visible spectrum, but there is an invisible spectrum going on. Imagine popping out a little clone that starts off as a youngster, and then it detaches from you, and this individual here teaches this one everything that it knows, but that's still you. And now this one's going to grow up. You fade off. This Terry takes that information, followed by another Terry and another Terry and another Terry. Do you see, that's one way of cheating to get eternal life. Plants have already mastered this. How long do you have to be around, and how many mutations do you need to be privy to in order to get to that level of capabilities? So that intelligence is already working. But there's a lot of mutations happening and a lot of events that are pretty extreme in order for it to come, stretching and squeezing. So, has there been enough time on the planet for nature to reach that moment? And if so, why haven't humans? Why is nature faster? So, no, they must have come somewhere before where they already got some information. You see, this is the interesting thing. You can then start to begin age life forms. When you go back in history, you'll find that it will be Hermie. And Hermes stay in the percentages now, just in case. And then this is where you can evolve, adapt, as long as you don't reach extinction. Reach extinction, game over. But other life forms are cooking up anywhere else anyway. So some are more faster, some are more slower. So some are very wise, and they can do this themselves, begin to clone one another. But again, you can get wrong clones and you can get right clones. This is very interesting, right? Because some might start to remove information. This will also cause extinction in the future. It must never be controlled. This is why the universe unleashes and gives abundance to life forms. All life forms, stars, everything is unlimited. It's just got to keep pushing. Interesting, but it's in a cycle. Very interesting cycling. And we have cold-blooded and we have warm-blooded. We drink sea sweat. We sweat salt water back to the sea to sweat, to sweat, to sweat, to sweat. It's all a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's very interesting. Even if we didn't make it and we reached extinction, the remnants of what are left will be scattered. And this might go on to be the building blocks for other life forms. So if it doesn't work here, it's got chance to work elsewhere. 2 minutes remaining and we're getting hot on it. So all life forms here, the planet ends. All of that information in what you are and whatever has been is still here on this planet. And no amount of radiation or anything else like that is ever going to do anything about it. What it will do is it will help the mutations. So the planet blows into a million pieces, and the star does as well. This is going to push into the seeding process. And if it lands in those, and remember it's going multiple directions, what's the chances of it finding an Earth-like planet? A habitable zone. It's very high. It's very high in multiple directions. And anything that didn't make it here, although game over for this species, and those species and these, some remnants will go on to give other species a head start and life until the biome completely ends. Which is recycle. After the recycle, some of them will get so advanced that they will be aware very quickly, unlimited resources, and very quickly learn to survive the final black hole and live to rerun the cycle again. Life form building, nothing is wasted. Leave it there.